Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the greatest WMMA series on YouTube. I can confidently say that. At least we've got the greatest fans. Today, we've got 5 more months of heavyweight action starting in the year 2005. We put 10 heavyweights in, and so far, very, very good results from all of them. But as you know, there's still much more for them to come in their career. They're just getting started, and we've got some great fights on tonight. So, without further ado, let's sim. Alright, not much has happened in the first week, but while I sim the next week here, I'm going to go ahead and throw up on the screen Eric Fanga's, other world companion has kindly made power rankings for us. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that up over the screen as we sim through the days here, so you can see how it all shakes out. Our heavyweight, I guess they're not really pound for pound rankings because they're all heavyweights, but I will go ahead and throw up those heavyweight rankings now, and you can see where you stack up or where our guys stack up, and agree, disagree, do whatever you like. I'm not in charge of them. Wow, all right. Well, we opened the week with Sakuraba got cut from Pride, which is crazy. So did Mark Hunt. Mark Hunt 2-3. Not a great start to the career, but it's not like he's barely over a 500 career fighter anyway. But in real news, we got Eric Fanga versus Jason Fairn at Pancrase 166 in May. Fairn is looks like he is 8-4 with a 2-0 record in Pancrase so far. So Fanga not exactly getting the title fight he might have been hoping for there. Jack Duplessis has been booked against Elvis Sinosic. Elvis Sinosic an 8-1 light heavyweight by trade, but it's Pancrase, so who knows. And Earl Mo has taken a short notice fight against a guy named Chris Tuchscherer. Alright, Tuchscherer, we're sticking with that. At Strikeforce, this will be the first Strikeforce fight for Big Sexy Earl Mo, 2-0 from Monkey's Eyebrow, Kentucky. He will be stepping in to replace Chris Tuchscherer at Strikeforce, the second Strikeforce show, which will be in mid-May. So, coming up mid-May, 3 big fights booked. Eric Fanga, Jack Duplessis, and Earl Mo, all booked. Oh my goodness, and this is huge news. Eric Fanga has signed a contract with the #1 MMA organization in the world. That's crazy. Fanga does still have that Pancrase fight booked, but that was a standard non-exclusive contract. So the rookie fighter of the year has signed with the #1 mixed martial arts promotion in the entire world. Will he go there 4-0 or 4-1? That remains to be seen, but we do know that the second to next time we see Eric Fanga fight, Black Power will be facing off against the likes of Big Nog, Josh Barnett, Mirko Krokop, Tim Sylvia, Pedro Rizzo. That's an insane amount of talent in that division. And one more has been added with the soon-to-be legendary Eric Fanga signing the biggest contract in the history of The Watcher. 1 month down, and the biggest news in the history of The Watcher, George Joe has gotten out of jail. After a 2-month stint in county jail for simple assault, George the Gentleman Joe, the 3-0 fighter, big in Europe, huge momentum. Going to jail certainly didn't stop his momentum. Cage Warriors signed fighter, knockout artist for sure. Anyway, he is out of jail after his stint for beating up someone in a bar fight until their face was unrecognizable. Rumor has it he got quite a few more extra training in while he was in prison. He is not booked yet, but expect that to change fairly soon. In other news, we have Alex O'Reilly has been booked to face Gary Turner at CW Hostile Territory. Gary Turner, a 1-3-1 lifetime fighter. This should be very light work for the Maverick. 3-0 so far, and really, he's probably going to kill him. Worth noting, he is now teammates with George Joe at SBG Ireland, so it's possible the two will be unwilling to face each other, despite being matched prospects on the up-and-coming UK scene. But Alex O'Reilly has been booked at CW Hostile Territory. So, a fight booked for another one of our prospects, and another one gets out of prison. Good for him. Maybe he'll turn his life around. Or not. Another week down, another extremely non-newsworthy week. However, this weekend we definitely have some big fights, maybe just the one. But on the undercard of the Strike Force, second card that they've released, Earl Mo will be facing off with Chris Tuchscherer. So not a huge week. The week after that, we have the big Pancrase show, which definitely will have some very exciting stuff going on. So we're getting there, folks. We are getting there. Also worth noting, before we get into the fight, George Joe has left Cage Warriors. His contract with them has expired. He is still signed with Cage Rage. For Cage Warriors, he fought twice, went ahead and won both of those by first round knockouts or TKOs. So he came, he wrecked, he left. He's now only signed with Cage Rage. That contract is pretty solid, though. He has not completed a single fight on that contract. He has 4 of them, and in 18 months of expiry, he is making $2,400 a fight plus 100% win bonus. So, George Joe, that's a couple of bales right there, just with one fight win. So good for him. But anyway, he is gone from Cage Warriors and now solely fights for Cage Rage. But that's not the biggest thing that's happening today. Let's be honest. Everyone weighed in successfully for Strikeforce Pat versus Flynn. Light heavyweight bout. I've never heard of either of these guys in my entire life. I'm sure they're great. But we are only here for one man, and that is Big Sexy. He's going to fight against the lumpy, stretch mark looking guy on the left. And his beautiful cowboy hat, it always remains on when he fights. And hopefully it'll spur him to victory here. He's a huge favorite. Short notice replacement, though. 19 years old versus a 30-year-old. Weight is about the same. Height's the same. Chris Tuchscherer, worth noting, 6-0. So, the old stereotype, someone's O has got to go. Both men making their Strikeforce debut. And let's get straight into it without much further ado. Alright, so Mo walking forward. This is some quick boxing to start off with. Mo fools Tuchscherer. I'm going to call him Chris. It's much easier to call him Chris. Earl definitely winning the early boxing exchanges. We get 2 minutes into the fight. Chris hits a few. Earl hits him back. Mo, again, just an aggressive guy. Straight right. Rocks Chris. Another one. Right cross. Earl Mo kind of piecing up the chin of Chris there. If his chin isn't good, it's not going to hold up through this whole fight, that's for sure. Big left hook. Right hand. Mo, again, just piecing him up. He's a wrestler by trade, but he absolutely has shown a huge ability to piece people up on the feet. Again, whiffs with the big right for Mo, but again, the two guys going back and forth on the feet. Haven't left the feet, but Mo certainly winning that one. Gotta stop the timer. Mo, yeah, he won his first fight by Americana by basically just boxing for most of the first round, then hitting a takedown and winning. His second fight, he did TKO a man, so Earl Mo, a finisher both on the feet and on the ground. Mo's getting a little bit tired there. But Big Sexy is not afraid of a fight. Huge right hand. Just piecing him up back and forth. Again, looks more like a boxing match than a mixed martial arts thing. No kicks, no takedowns, just jabs, crosses. It's a boxing match with much smaller gloves, and again, there's always that takedown submission from Mo, who is, again, piecing him up. Chris trying a few things. Mo, big right hand again. Again, the significant strike differential is huge in Mo's favor. Again, there's another one. He's coming forward. He's hitting huge strikes. But Chris is just eating all of them. I mean, granted, look at that chin. It's made of granite. But Mo now in the clinch, pushing Chris against the cage. Dirty boxing for the rest of the round. Sorry, rookie commentator mistake. I didn't bring a bottle of water up here with me. But we can see in round 2, 3 power punches, 15 jabs versus Tuchscherer's 5 jabs. A very clear win for Earl Mo. He's definitely up 2-0. And as a 3-round fight, Chris is going to need a stoppage to win this one. But Earl Mo is probably the more likely one to hit that stoppage, although he is getting very tired now. Again, the volume of strikes that he's throwing, especially for a young fighter who hasn't really gotten time to develop his gas tank, that is exhausting. Tuchscherer is starting to land a few more. He's getting tired as well, but as far as I can tell, Mo is definitely more tired. He is exhausting. He has 3 minutes left. Hopefully that won't cost him here. Tuchscherer, of course, also a wrestler. It's wrestling versus wrestling. So the Monkey's eyebrow Kentucky native, though, seeming to stand in there, holding it together. Again, more boxing duels. Great right hook from Mo. Ooh, Chris Chris hurts from that one. Mo is not have enough energy to follow that up yet, though. He's just grabbing him, foot stomping, clinching. Mo only has to last another 30 seconds. That's the thing. If Chris doesn't get something done here, it's not happening. And Earl Mo dirty boxes his way to finishing that third round. I've got it 30-27 on my cards. I could see 29-28. Wouldn't shock me. Wouldn't be a robbery. But any result besides an Earl Mo unanimous decision be a straight robbery here, folks. Let's take it to the judges' scorecards. All three judges score the contest 30-27. Big, sexy Earl Mo. I mean, fights a granite-chinned fellow here to the end. Across the whole fight, Mo hit 35 jabs, 9 power punches. Some light kicks and knees when he got into that clinch. But really, Earl Mo putting on a power boxing clinic here. Tushare definitely ate that. The volume wasn't so overwhelming that you're shocked he's still standing. But an absolutely dominating win from big, sexy Earl Mo, who moves to 3-0, winning his Strikeforce debut on short notice. Let's not forget. Let's not take away anything from Earl Mo's performance here. He had less than 3 weeks to prepare for this fight. He just absolutely dominated a 6-0 heavyweight prospect. Big win from Earl Mo here. So congratulations to him on winning his Strikeforce debut. And because Bobby Braxton can never let anyone have the spotlight for too long, he has announced that he has been booked against Edson Drago, that is a Rocky villain if I've ever heard one, at Pancrase 167 Red Mist in June, will be on this show. Braxton coming off his first ever loss to Soa Palele in his Pancrase debut. Palele, again, a very well-respected, very competent fighter. He was absolutely dominated in what was a fantastic fight. But he was pretty well dominated on that one. They did win a Fight of the Night award, which is good for them. But you know what's better than a Fight of the Night award? Winning. Anyway, he will be facing Edson Drago. Edson Drago being I swear I used to be able to click that. Let's jump to Edson Drago here. Edson Drago, a 4-1 heavyweight prospect versus Braxton, 3-1. Drago lost his Pancrase debut too. So again, two guys in very similar situations. Drago's older, but really two young guys looking to bounce back from their first loss. So great matchmaking by Pancrase there. Should be a great card. And it's important to remember it's important to remember all of our guys are booked. They all have not booked, but signed. They all have contracts. No longer are they fighting on the independent scene. You know, we got Strikeforce, we got King of the Cage, we got Cage Warriors, we got Cage Rage, Pancrase, and now Pride. Again, we have guys all over the place, but none of them are unsigned. So the wins aren't free anymore. The wins aren't easy anymore. Our guys are working hard for this. Everyone weighs in successfully for Pancrase 166, and boy, do we have a heck of a card. Two of our fighters will be fighting on this card. In the tertiary main? I don't know. Both on the main card, though, which is great for them. Jack Duplessis versus Elvis Sinosic, an Australian with a record of 8-1. I expect a Jack victory here. Odds makers saying could go either way. We'll see. I don't think Jack is getting the respect he deserves here. Again, KO via strikes and a submission via Kimura. Big wins for Jack. So Jack stopped everyone he's faced so far. He's got a wrestling background versus a jiu-jitsu background. Let's get straight into it. Again, Sinosic giving up 40 pounds and 16 years of age here. Could be pretty bad for to give that up to a wrestler, but what do I know? The two coming forward to strike. Sinosic hitting some jabs. Jack Duplessis, big right hook though. Jack, again, Sinosic backing up and hitting the counters, but Jack is hitting his strikes. He's not Sinosic isn't dodging what's going on. Jack's cut, though. That could be bad. With 7 minutes left in the round, there will be no doctor stopping that big right cross. Two left hands in his straight right. Jack just pieced him up with about 5 straight punches. Two left hands in a right cross again. Jack is absolutely landing these strikes at an insane rate. That cut under his eye seeming to not bother him too much here. Big right hook for Jack. Coming forward, look at that man. He doesn't back off ever. Hasn't tried for much of a takedown yet, but hits jab, dodges the big right punch. Jack getting a little gassed about 5.5 minutes into the round. Sinosic hitting those jabs, big right hook again. Jack is still not losing his accuracy, even though he's gassed, and that, I think, will win him this fight by decision so far. We're only 6.5 minutes left, 3.5 minutes. Big right hook again. Oh, they're checking the cut here. No problem. Jack's good. They're restarting it. Exchange of strikes, 2.5 minutes left. He's walking him down. Big right hook again. Again, Jack, he's not hitting all his counters, his setup strikes, but he's hitting enough of them, and he seems to always have a knack for hitting that last punch in that combo. Jack is so confident here. He says, come on, Sinosic, hit me. And then a right hook to the body. Again, Jack is piecing him up. He's dodging him. He is absolutely clowning on Elvis Sinosic. This is insane. I don't know if I've ever seen such a dominating performance. And Jack goes for the takedown just to end the fight, because why not? The judges are about to give their decisions. I expect a clean sweep for young Jack. Yeah, all 3 judges give the victory to Jack Duplessis. A great fight. He defeats the king of rock and rumble. 34 punches to 27. So actually, those strike metrics might have been a little closer than I thought. And maybe Jack was a little overconfident there. He only landed 1 real power punch, it seems, and a lot of jabs. And Sinosic hit his counter jabs too. But Jack did hit that takedown to end the fight. Maybe a smart tactical decision there rather than an actual clowning on. It's hard to say, you know? Does this look like a really brilliant man to you? Yeah, I didn't think so. Anyway, Jack does win by unanimous decision, moving to 3-0. So the South African native 1-0 in Pancrase now. Congratulations to him. But this Pancrase show isn't over yet. The number 1 ranked, at least by our standards, or at least from our list, Eric Black Power Fonga. He's signed with Pride. He's the rookie fighter of the year. He's facing 8-4 Bonecracker Jason Farron, who's coming off 4 straight wins, including 2 in Pancrase. However, Eric Fonga is a minus 1,100 favorite, meaning that if you bet $1,100 on Eric Fonga to win, and he won, you would receive just $100 in bonus, which is insane. He's been doing all this without a team too. Let's just get into this fight. I predict a massacre. But will Eric Fonga move to Pride still undefeated? Fonga ignores the touch gloves, pretty standard for him. Comes in closer. Leg kick, punches. Misses the big right hand, all off balance, but nothing really too much. Straight right from Fonga. Big right uppercut. Farron is down. Farron is mounted. Fonga's trying for the armbar from this. Oh, Farron escapes from it. Tries for the arm triangle on Fonga. Fonga says no problem. Fonga, though, maybe in the downside of his grappling here. Farron trying a lot of submissions here. Could exhaust him, but if one of them catches, that's how a submission works. It does not just end the round. He's tried a lot of submissions here, but Fonga can't just stay pinned on the ground the whole fight. There's a lot of submission attempts here. He can't escape. Fonga isn't really a grappler here. If Fonga can't escape, this could be a decision loss. There's a lot of control for Jason Farron. Farron tries for the mount. Oh, big scramble. Fonga's pulling guard again. He's just being smothered down. Farron is working for side control. They scramble. Fonga ends up under north-south. That's not good. Farron tries the north-south choke. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. The biggest upset in Watcher history. Plus 780 underdog. Plus 870 underdog. Bonecracker Jason Farron. I don't even know how it happened. Like, Fonga he knocked him down and then went for an armbar instead of a KO. And from there, it was all Jason Farron. I mean, he had him pinned. He was working his jiu-jitsu. He is a jiu-jitsu specialist, but I really did not see that happening. That is crazy. Crazy. A scramble does not go Eric Fonga's way. He ends up under north-south and is choked. Crazy fight. Wow. Eric Fonga moves to 4-1 and leaves Pancrase on his back. Leaves the territory on his back. He's moving to Pride now. No longer undefeated. Will this have an impact on our heavyweight rankings. I have to say it might. Also, Bruno Guimas has been booked to face Seth Petruzzelli. Wow, that will be fun. Seth Petruzzelli, big King of the Cage guy. Coming off a loss, Bruno Guimas just 2-0 on the independent scene, but that should be a very, very fun. Roy Nelson versus Ben Rothwell, Maurice Smith versus Mark Birch, Bruno Guimas versus Seth Petruzzelli. What an insane card. Cub Swanson, I love Cub Swanson. But wow, that's a big name to face off against. So Bruno Guimas will have a chance to absolutely test himself at King of the Cage. But I mean, that last fight is just an important. You got to say, okay, it's true. Nobody is infallible, and nobody is immune to losing. So crazy, crazy fight, and we will have to see how Eric Fonga rebounds in pride. Holy cow. Well, there's a new biggest fight in Watcher history, or at least in Watcher Season 3 history. The main event of Cage Rage 18, Jailbird George Joe versus Czech Congo, the Cage Warriors champion, but not the Cage Rage champion. So this is not a title fight. But Czech Congo 7-2-1 in his career. He is 2-0 in Cage Warriors as far as I can tell. So this might be his Cage Rage debut, but George Joe facing off against the champion. 3-0 George Joe versus 7-2-1 Czech Congo. That will take place in June. It will be on the show. We will be going through the end of August. So long episode today. But come on, who really hates long episodes? Anyway, that is going to be an insane fight, and I'm so excited to get to it. Let's keep simming. And here we are in London for Cage Warriors. Cage Warriors, whose heavyweight champion Czech Congo will be facing the former Jailbird George Joe. But on this show, Alex O'Reilly and Gary Turner will be squaring off to see if one of them could be maybe the next contender to Mr. Congo. Alex the Maverick O'Reilly, 3-0 from Dublin, minus 1,200 favorite, but that doesn't mean anything. 1-3-1 Gary Turner, also here. Let's just get into this one. Herb Dean, the referee. Mixed martial artist O'Reilly versus kickboxing Gary Turner. Gary Turner is the fan favorite, and Alex O'Reilly kicks him in the head and knocks him out immediately. Sweet Jesus. 26 seconds into the fight, Alex O'Reilly shows Gary Turner that he does not belong here and KOs him with a kick. I mean, that was... They say, bell opening, to the center, head kick, out. That's it. Dodges the right hand, left jab, head kick. Good board. Alex O'Reilly moves to 4-0 now, all by knockout and TKO, none of which were on the independent scene. Alex O'Reilly, I mean, sneaky, putting together a very good resume here. He's not in Japan, he's not in the biggest market, but he's 4-0. What else could you ask for? So that's crazy. Good for him. Bobby Braxton's fight has been canceled because Edson Drago was hurt. So Bobby Braxton no longer booked on Pancrase 167. That is a real shame that they could not find an opponent for him in time, but just means we'll have to sim a little longer before we get to one of our fights. Alright, absolutely nothing noteworthy has happened in the last 2 weeks. That's crazy. But let's get straight to it. Cage Rage 18 is, I guess, not Saturday night, it's Sunday night, but everyone weighed in successfully, which, you should expect from a 265-pounder, but main event of the evening. The first main event for any of our guys, I believe, except on a local show. Correct me if I'm wrong. George the Gentleman Joe versus Czech Congo. 3-0 versus 7-2-1. Czech Congo, a huge favorite. Much older, much more experienced. A champion in another organization. Can George Joe's hard-nosed boxing style and prison time help him beat Czech Congo's kickboxing experience? Can the SBG Ireland team help him beat the Wolf's Lair Academy team? I don't know. I hope so. I'm cheering for all of our created fighters, of course. I just don't know. This is the toughest test I think any of them have faced. So, holy cow. Let's get to it. I'm so excited. Main event, I think, will be 5 rounds. I cannot confirm that for sure, but let's get straight into it. I don't know if this one goes 5 rounds, honestly. Joe just punching and punching. Congo with the jab. Again, Joe's just mostly a boxer. Kind of a hard-nosed kind of guy. 4 quick punches from Congo. 2 guys striking. Joe with the left hook. Congo a 5-punch combination. That's crazy. Joe's cut. 2 guys fighting back and forth. Joe's swinging. Congo's swinging. Congo with jabs. Joe with left hands. The 2 guys halfway through the first round have thrown an insane number of strikes already. There might be over 40 strikes in this first one. Congo will counter left hand. Ooh, Joe feints and leaves him off balance, but misses the 1-2 follow-up. Can't get the big right. Congo grabs him. Where's he going from here? Oh, he's going to try to smash him against the cage. Joe's smashed up against the cage. Congo with knee strikes to the thigh, going for that Muay Thai clinch. Joe not really used to this short range. That is the end of round 1. Oh, apparently Congo's still favored. The crowd definitely behind him, maybe a little more here. Congo the bigger name, perhaps. But Joe is absolutely giving a good account of himself. He's hitting as many as he takes. 3 strikes and a right cross. Again, he takes some, he hits some. The amount of strikes landed in this. Right hook from Joe. 1-2 from Joe. He's not giving up. Joe would never give up in a time like this. Congo counter left. Joe with a big right cross. Congo's unsteady. Joe with the knockdown. He's pounding away. He's pounding away. Big strikes. That's it. That's it. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. In one of the best fights you will see all year, George Joe and Czech Congo, they fought for 8 minutes. They landed 40, 50, nearly 50 strikes in 8 minutes. And wow, Czech Congo, he was just jabbing and jabbing and jabbing. George hit 5 power hands. So what happens? He hits. So that's it. So Joe comes forward. Congo hits a counter left. Joe misses his setup strikes and then hits a right cross out of nowhere, which rocks Congo. Joe smells blood. Joe knows. You smell weakness, you go straight for the throat. And that's what he did. He smelled weakness in Congo, hits that big right hand. Congo drops. Joe drops next. Joe crouches down next to him and starts swinging away at his face. And the ref has to stop it. Absolutely, the ref has to stop it. Wow. George the Gentleman Joe pounds Czech Congo, the Cage Warriors heavyweight champion, still, because this is a cage rage fight, into oblivion. Unbelievable. What a huge win from George Joe. Says that's the best fight of my career and I can't wait to watch it again. You're darn right it was. The best fight, the best performance. People are going to know your name, Joe. People are going to know your name. Also, does this just confirm that the best base for MMA is boxing and going to prison? Like, Joe pieced him up. I mean, I don't know if he pieced him up, but boy, was that I don't know. That's a great fight. 2 heavyweights swinging, and that's what MMA is all about, really. Okay, a little bit of random news here. Jack Duplessis has joined the Abe Ani Combat Club in Japan. Some great names in there, like guys named Abe, and Jason Farron, who just beat Eric Fanga. So he is an Abe Ani teammate of Jack Duplessis now. So it could be interesting if we see a Jack versus Fanga fight at some point. I would love to see that. Both Pancrase guys. Could be fantastic. But before we get into anything else, who really cares? Because an incredible heavyweight fight is about to go down. Also, I'm pretty sure I just saw Bob Sapp versus Ken Shamrock. Okay. But in California, I mean, there's Big Ben Rothwell versus Roy Nelson. Big Country versus Big. Roy Nelson 6-0. Ben Rothwell 19-6. Could be a really fun fight. Title fight. Cool. Who cares? The real fight we care about is down here. Bruno Guimaz versus Seth Petruzzelli. Seth Petruzzelli is a 8-3 fighter. His biggest win so far, Dan Severn, by unanimous decision. Wow. Okay, is that a real thing that happened? Huh. Anyway, Seth Petruzzelli, a guy who beat Dan Severn, but lost to Dan Christensen on his last outing, 8-3, going against King of the Cage debutant Bruno Guimas, the one who's moved to America to fight for King of the Cage. He's 2-0, and looking to win in his King of the Cage debut here. So here we go. First fight of the main card, 3x5, and the mixed martial artist versus a kickboxer. Guimas much bigger. They touch gloves. Let's see how it goes. Guimas starts walking down Petruzzelli immediately. Petruzzelli hits a jab. Guimas feints. Big jab. Straight right. Petruzzelli's hurt. Big right uppercut by Guimas. Petruzzelli's going to drop. That's it. He didn't even bother dropping. Oh my goodness. Have you ever seen a bigger manslaughter in your life? Guimas hit him Petruzzelli hits one jab and then Guimas tees off on his head till the ref stops it. And arguably was a late stoppage 30 seconds into the round. That's the earliest late stoppage I've ever seen. What a huge win by the one. Bruno Guimas wins his King of the Cage debut, and also he wants to fight Roy Nelson. Fair enough. I mean, depending if Roy wins or loses, could be a title fight, really. I don't know if they'll give it to him, but smart call out. King of the Cage doesn't have a huge heavyweight roster, and you just won in ridiculously impressive fashion. So, congratulations, Bruno Guimas. Moves to 3-0 and 1-0 on his 1-0 on his King of the Cage contract. So, good for him. Unfortunately, we've kind of reached the point where all of our guys are respected enough and fighting for respected enough organizations. They're just not going to be all that active. We're in mid-July now, and again, there's just not a ton happening. We will be going, like I said, through the end of August. This will be a 5-month video. In the future, they will be 4-month videos, meaning it'll be 3 per year. And yeah, we're just slowly simming our way through 2006. And I will be back when there is anything whatsoever happening. Alright, there's stuff happening. Jack Duplessis is fighting Jason Farron. First of all, that's his teammate. See how that goes. But second of all, not Jack, but Jason just beat Eric Fonga. So that's a huge fight. Jason now a 5-fight winning streak. That could be big for a Pancrase heavyweight division. Also, Bobby Braxton in the heavyweight division is fighting Elvis Sinosic. Bobby just lost to Soa Palele. Elvis Sinosic just lost to our very own Jack Duplessis. So, again, you're starting to see the same names come around here. We still have yet to see a character versus character fight, but there you go. Jack has been offered a contract by K1. K1 Heroes, which is in Japan. It's pretty, I'd say it's small, but they have Bob Sapp, Don Fry, Gary Goodridge, Ken Shamrock. A lot of big guys on the roster, so maybe I'm not giving K1 the respect it deserves. Not a very old promotion. Had their first show in 2005, it looks like. Their heavyweight champion is not Gary Goodridge. Who's your heavyweight champion? Heath Herring. Man with the gigantic hands. So, Heath Herring, a Pride mainstay for quite some time. Now has moved to K1 Heroes and has not lost since getting there. Beat Gary Goodridge to win the title, beat Semi Schlitt to retain it, and is not currently booked. So there you go. That's who your target would be if you happen to move to K1. But Jack Duplessis offered a contract, has not had time to accept or decline yet, so we will find out. And Bruno Guimas, from the sunny shores of Porto, Portugal, to the frigid Minnesota Martial Arts Academy. I'm not saying he's got bad company there. Gabriel Gonzaga, Sean Shirk, Greg Nelson. Good. I mean, it's a good team. It's just, really, you moved to Minnesota? It's tough, buddy. Alright, we got news. I don't even know what it is. I haven't even clicked it yet. Jack Duplessis has signed with K1 Heroes, so the South African-born, Japanese-trained 3-0 fighter could be 4-0 if he beats Jason Farron in August. We'll find out. Eric Fonga is being faced. Oh my God, Tank Abbott versus Era Fonga at Pride 37. That is going to be insane. Just truly insane. So Tank Abbott versus Eric Fonga in October, which means we're not getting it on this video. You're going to have to wait for that one. Alex O'Reilly versus Alexei Kudin in August at 2-6 Alexei Kudin. Brutal. At Cage Rage 19, they are feeding Alex the cans here. Hasn't fought Cage Rage since December of last year, but holds a 2-0 record in the company. Could be a fun fight, and probably not main. Oh, it's the co-main event, because anyway, I expect Alex to absolutely tee off on Alexei. Also, as a random aside, it is insane how much faster this game runs on a computer that is good instead of just my old college laptop. Like, Wednesday takes 20 seconds. Thursday. Like, it's so fast. It's just really nice. I don't know. Alright, some more bookings here. Earl Moe has been booked to face Brad Imes. 6-0 Brad Imes. Just, 3 wins in WEC. I didn't even know WEC had a heavyweight division. It was an open weight fight. There you go. 2 independent shows and a win on Pat versus Flynn. There's Anthony Hardeneck. He is 6-0. And Earl Moe, of course, 3-0. Controlled Chris Tuchscherer, whose name I hate saying, on that same card. So, 2 undefeated guys, going head-to-head at this show here, which will be in September, not on this episode. Ron Francis Jr. has been booked on the same card. So on the undercard, we will see Ron Francis Jr. making his promotional debut for Strikeforce, and only his 2nd fight overall, versus Antoine Jahude, 7-2 fighter, who is making his Strikeforce debut as well. So, Antoine Jahude versus Ron Francis Jr. and Earl Moe versus Brad Imes on that exact same card should be a good one. And Fedor has defended the Pride heavyweight title again. So I hope those of you who are in Pride or Japan are really, really looking forward to fighting the Emperor. He's beaten Crow Cop, Josh Barnett, and Pedro Rizzo in back-to-back-to-back fights. So, it'll be fun. He knocked him out cold in the 2nd round. He only needs 6 days off. That's terrifying. Just terrifying. Alright, and here we are at Pancrase 169, titled Pain Barrier. Interesting. We got Jason Farron versus Jack Duplessis, and on the undercard, Bobby Braxton versus Elvis Sinosic. 2 guys who have faced our guys. Elvis Sinosic just lost to Jack Duplessis earlier in this exact same video, who's now holds a, 2-2 record in Pride. Pancrase, it looks like, sorry. So, he will now, he's 8-9-1 career-wide. Bobby, the Bruiser Braxton, recovering from a loss to Soa Palele in his Pancrase debut. And Bobby definitely not the favorite here, so we will have to see what happens. But let's get straight into it. Kickboxing versus Jiu-Jitsu. Braxton is huge. Braxton's very large. He's walking forward. Sinosic tries a jab. Braxton, big jab and a body kick. Braxton's not here to play. Stepping into the pocket. Jab, straight right. Coming forward to attack. Sinosic tries a counter jab. Big leg kick. Remember, 10-minute rounds here in Pancrase. Left hand, right hand. Sinosic trying to grapple. Bobby will not let him close enough to grapple. And big right uppercut from Braxton. Sinosic is down. Braxton jumps into side control and tries for the armbar. Sinosic, again, the jiu-jitsu specialist, does not let him do that, and then moves to full guard. Scrambling for position. Braxton in north-south position. Sinosic switches to side control, tries for the armbar, and Braxton has to tap. Do our guys know that ground and pound exists? Bobby, again, that's the 2nd time in this video someone has hit a huge knockdown, followed the guy down to the ground, tried for a submission instead of ground and pound, and then lost. Unbelievable, guys. Bobby the Bruiser Braxton moves to 3-2 overall, and might want to change teams or something here. He doesn't have a team. He needs friends. Terrible game plan from Bobby. I'm sorry to say it. Elvis Sinosic moves to 9-1. Bobby the Bruiser Braxton moves to 3-2, and he is struggling. 0-2 at Pancrase. Hopefully, can get another chance here, but we don't really have time to keep talking about that. Jason Farron, who just beat Eric Fonga by the same method I described earlier, knockdown submission, he's facing off against Jack Duplessis, who absolutely manslaughtered Elvis Sinosic. So, let's get straight into it, folks. Jack, the wrestler, Farron, a BJJ specialist. Let's hope Jack doesn't give up a tap here. I'd hate to see that. Touch gloves. Farron with the right hook. Jack with the right hand. Two guys just fighting back and forth. Jack in his last fight really showed a boxing first approach. Farron is cut. Jack is pressuring him. Big counter jab. Big right hand from Jack again. He's going to try to bust that cut wide open until Farron can't continue is what's going to happen. Another straight right from Jack. Jack striking again. Farron with the jab. Left jab. Again, the two guys boxing back and forth. 3 minutes into the round now. A jiu-jitsu guy and a wrestler boxing it out, because why not? Farron with the right hook, quick left, straight right, Jack throwing hands. Farron hitting those jabs. Jack's not great at dodging them. Farron getting that cut checked. Looks like it's good. We can continue. Jack coming forward to attack some more. Two left hands from Farron. Straight right from Jack. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Two guys meeting in the center. Probably crowd loving this. Left hook from Jack. Left cross from Jason. Farron counter jab. The bone cracker failing to crack any bones today or even go for a takedown. Jack with the right hand. Two guys toe-to-toe with strikes. Jack's stalking, pressuring. Again, if it's about initiative, Jack's going to win this one. Big right cross. 3 minutes left. Might be getting a little tired here. This is when Farron got Fonga late in the round, tired. Jack dodges a right hand. Hits a right hand of his own. Forces an exchange of strikes. Dodges the jab. Misses the 1-2. Two guys definitely tired late in the 10-minute round. Jack with the big right hook again. Again, Jack is just hitting those last hands, last hits. It's won him the last fight, and so far it looks like it's going to hit him with this one. Big straight. Get down within 45 seconds of the end. They're hitting their strikes, meeting with their things. Jack lands a 1-2, and that's the end of the fight. Ring announcer giving his official decisions. To me, that's a Jack Duplessis win. He hit more, and it's just nothing for Jason to do. And there you have it. Jack Duplessis wins by unanimous decision, as we kind of expected. Moves to 4-0. Jason moves to 9-5. Okay, so this is really, really interesting. Fedor popped for drugs. So he's now been overturned to a no contest for drug test failures. So the Pride heavyweight title has been vacated. Josh Barnett also popped for drugs. That's a little less surprising, I think. But not a good look for either of the two guys. Not a good look for Pride at all. Murillo Bustamante also popped for drugs. It's a real bummer. Stop doing drugs, people. Also worth noting, Jack Duplessis has now fought out his contract with Pancrase and is only a K1 Heroes fighter from now on. So he came in, took two guys to decision, won them both, and now he's going to K1. So good for him, I suppose. And we'll see if anything else happens the last week of this month. Oh, I forgot, folks. We actually have one more fight before this one's over. On a headline by Anderson Silva versus Jagardan Musasi. I suck at that. 17-3 versus 10-3-1. Should be a real good fight. But the fight we're here for, Alex O'Reilly versus Alexei Kudin. Alexei 2-6, O'Reilly 4-0, and a -990 favorite. That doesn't mean anything, as we saw earlier in the zone video, but I would expect a big win from Alex here today. Mixed martial artist versus a kickboxer, and here we go. Two guys touch gloves. O'Reilly coming forward. Kudin hits two counter lefts. O'Reilly hits that big front leg kick. Again, O'Reilly the aggressor here. Kudin trying his jab, straight right. O'Reilly, again, boxing, misses the left hand. Jab, big right. O'Reilly, some defensive jabs, but Kuden hits with the right cross here. O'Reilly maybe getting up a little bit of momentum here. O'Reilly hits a right hook. Trying to maybe wrestle here. Grabs him and going for a dirty boxing rather than takedown. Gets him up against the cage. And he's going to hold him there and just pepper him back and forth. Takes a few right hands, and that is the end of round 1. Probably an O'Reilly win according to them. Alright. 2 guys coming forward. O'Reilly hits a big jab. Coming for strikes. Counter jab for Kuden. Crunching right hook from O'Reilly. Slowing down a little bit as he gets into the gas tank. But he's definitely dealt more damage and won more points so far. O'Reilly with another right hook. Kuden cannot defend those right hooks right now. That's crazy. Tries the right hand. Kuden dodges it. O'Reilly's gas tank, not great. We're only halfway through the fight overall. O'Reilly tries a big high kick, but doesn't get it. 2 guys going back and forth. O'Reilly coming in. Kuden with the left. O'Reilly misses this 1-2. O'Reilly's really tired now. And the second round is not even over yet. So, big straight right from O'Reilly. O'Reilly needs to work on his gas tank for sure. Kuden not thrilled about the amount of time left. And that is the end of round 2. Another O'Reilly round. As long as he can finish the third round without getting finished, he should be okay. But we know he is tired. Big right hand. Oh, he's wobbling. O'Reilly coming in there. Big right hook again. Right hook. Oh, Kuden blocks it. Uppercut. Hits him behind the ear. Pounding away on him on the ground. Oh, Kuden scrambling. Under north-south. O'Reilly knees him in the head. But he is exhausted. Kuden trying to scramble here. O'Reilly trying for the north-south choke. Wow. I don't know if we've seen a win like that from O'Reilly yet, but there you have it, folks. The 4 knockout streak of O'Reilly now turns into 5 fights, 5 finishes because he submits Alexei Kuden with 2 minutes left in the fight after absolutely dominating him for the first 2 rounds. So, big win from Alex O'Reilly. Good fight too, really good. Praises his opponent's toughness, but as far as I can tell, that is the last fight we have tonight. September has begun. That makes 5 months we've simmed through. Alex O'Reilly has entered the renegotiation period with Cage Rage. Hasn't gotten a title fight or anything like that yet. He's 5-0. Cage Rage and Cage Warriors he's contracted with. Big British prospect there, so that's very cool. Let's take a quick look at our short list before we close her down for now. We'll start with our whole list, I guess, not our short list. Alex the Maverick O'Reilly, as we know, just beat Alexei Kuden by submission. He moves to 5-0. Still under contract with Cage Rage and Cage Warriors. Anderson, 1-1. Lost by Kimura on the first Strikeforce fight. Not injured, just hasn't been booked. Still under contract with Strikeforce. Billy Willie under contract with Strikeforce. Hasn't gotten a fight with them yet. Bobby the Bruiser Braxton, 3-2 after back-to-back tough losses versus Soa Palele and Elvis Sinosic. Hasn't beat anyone who isn't a local fighter yet, and Bobby is struggling. The one, Bruno Guimas, just TKO'd Seth Petrozelli in 30 seconds at King of the Cage. Still has a contract with them. And he lives in Minnesota, which is tough for him, but whatever. Big Sexy Earl Mo, 3-0, still at Strikeforce. Contracted to fight Brad Imes in September. Eric Fonga is going to face Tank Abbott at Pride 37 in October. Insane fight. He is 4-1 after losing in a huge upset to Jason Farron after knocking him down, following him down, and then getting submitted because he didn't ground and pound. Just tough loss for Eric Fonga. George the Gentleman Joe moves to 4-0 after TKOing Czech Congo at Cage Rage 18. He got out of jail. He's 4-0. Things are looking up for George. Jack Duplessis beat Jason Farron, avenging Eric Fonga. Moves to 4-0. 2-0 with Pancrase, and is now an exclusive contract with K1 Heroes, and in 39 days when he recuperates, might be able to take a fight with them. Ron Francis Jr. has been booked, but did not get a fight in these 5 months, which is really sucks for him. He hasn't fought since November. It's going to be nearly a year off for Ron Francis Jr. But I believe that is the end of our list, the end of our show. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good week.